Hey, what's up? Good evening, everybody. First of all, my apologies for the lateness. My apologies. As you all can see, I am not at home. I am not at the real life relationship growth studio. I'm here at my parents' house. Um, my mom had surgery on Tuesday, so I am still here. I was going to head home tonight to be able to do this and just go home because I've been staying with her at the hospital for the last 2 nights, last 2 days. But I decided let me go ahead and stay because we can applaud already. We can say because God does His thing. She is home. She is home. She came home this evening. So I went back and forth with stay, go, because my siblings are here. My siblings are coming. But I'm like, you know what? Let me stay one more night with mommy. Well, let me just stay because there's no work tomorrow. It's a holiday. So let me just stay. So I'm here at my parents' house. Backdrop is a little different, but we're good. We're good. We're good. Welcome in. Welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Get Together. It is Thursday. Podcast channel. You know, I don't care what you call it as long as you are here. And I'm grateful and thankful that you all are here. I appreciate you all every week, either tuning in live or coming back later and commenting and liking and subscribing. Just listen, just a little note on that part. Do me a favor. If you have not done so as yet, please do me a favor and go to YouTube. If you're not on YouTube already, if you're on Facebook, I need you to go over to YouTube. The link will be in the chat. One of my peeps one of my producers will put it in the chat so you all can go over to YouTube if you're on Facebook. This is crazy because I don't even know where I'm looking. I feel like but we're going to get it done tonight. Either way. So welcome in. I am Donna. I'm the creator of the Real Life Relationship Growth platform. Here at the Real Life Relationship Growth, we do nothing but grow relationships. Grow relationships. We talk about every dynamic under the umbrella of family, mother, father, husband, wife, daddy, mommy, however you call it. Everything that falls under that, we talk about. Whether it's the dynamic of in-laws, siblings, parent-child relationships, but it all starts with what God created, the husband and the wife. The husband and the wife. So if you're new here, again, please go to YouTube, Real Life Relationship Growth on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. It is necessary to hit that like button um, to make sure that this thing is rolling, this thing is going. All right. So this is the criteria. I have to give you guys this. This is our criteria for being a part of the Real Life Relationship Growth family. Y'all ready? All right, here it is. You have to be single, dating, courting, engaged, married, divorced, or widower. That is the criteria for you to be a part of this family. And I guarantee, if you are at least the age of 21, you're in one of those categories. Again, we are here to grow and learn from one another. We're not here necessarily to change your mind about things. But what we are here to do is to give each other different perspectives and learn how to deal with this thing called life in the relationship. So let me say this. Before I bring the producers on in the back crew. Listen, I am not a relationship expert. I'm just a Black woman in this world, living this life, doing the thing, and enjoying myself in the process. I have had some ups in life. I have had some downs. I have had some things that have taught me, and I have had some things that I'm like, yo, that's not for me at all. So I throw it away. I always advise and I always tell people that and recommend and suggest take what strengthens you, let it grow, build on it. And that stuff that, like those weeds in the yard, pick them up, toss them, get rid of them. They are they are no use to you. All right. So let me do this. Let me bring on the crew. For many months, even probably a year or so, I did this by myself. And it was cool. It was cool. It was comfortable. I was enjoying it. But yo, when I started bringing people on to join me, it was great. And especially since there are two perspectives, there are two genders, there are two sexes, male and female, it was necessary to have that as well as a part. So I prayerfully thought about and chose some people that I knew could be a positive and a plus and a straight up, I'm going to tell you the truth and be honest with you people. We don't sugarcoat here. We don't try to win friends, but we do respect one another. So let me bring the crew on. I have to bring this young lady on always first, not just because ladies first, which is just, etiquette, polite, but because she has been around for a good long time. And when I say, hey, like Miss, ma'am, friend, girl, sister, home girl, I need you to be a part of this. She didn't say like, oh no, I gotta see. Oh, there was a little hesitation, but it wasn't enough for her to say no. Let me bring my girl on, Miss Corey B.
Hey, hey. Did I hesitate?
I don't think you did. I don't think you did. When I say hesitation, it wasn't a hesitation not to be a part. It was
Oh.
kind of a, we gonna be on camera like this, like let me
Yeah, that was
readjust
probably
this
that.
thought
That's probably
process.
that.
Yeah, something like that. Never a hesitation to be like, nah, I have to think about it. Never that. What's up, sis?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. We gonna keep this moving because we
All
are
right,
a
let's
little
go.
late already. We are a little late already, so we're gonna keep it moving. The next gentleman, well,
So,
he's not gonna be offended. He's not gonna be offended because I said ladies first, and I know he's a man's man, and he wouldn't mind me doing this. I'm gonna come back around him. So we have one more young lady who has become a part of the studio of the producer team. Um, yo, now I'm gonna say the first time I asked her, she was like, "Oh no, Donna." I said, "Listen, just come on, just come do one live with us." And now I can't get rid of a girl, Stacy. What up, sis?
Hi.
Yeah, she was a bit shy at first, and she was like, "I don't know if I want to be on camera." I said, I promise you, you're gonna be addicted. Are you not addicted, Stacy?"
I am addicted.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And we have to balance this thing out. So here we go. I'm gonna go to the gentleman. I'm gonna start with this gentleman. Really no particular order to this because both these men are appreciated. Both of them are pivotal and necessary doing this thing. They come from two different lifestyles, backgrounds, walk of life experiences. So we needed some men, like I said, on here to balance this out. So I'm gonna bring the king of the north on first. The king of the north.
Hey, it's the kick of the north here. Slaying ice dragons.
Lord have mercy.
Literally my boy King. Now I've been rocking with King really way longer than anybody else here. We went to high school together. The Mannheim brats, yes, Mannheim, Germany. We went to high school together, so we met when we were both still wet behind the ears.
I still got a little wetness back
You
there.
guys see a
Still,
little bit.
yeah.
And last but certainly not least, I met this gentleman through one of my homegirls because she is his better half. I gotta say it like that. He will accept no other way. He will accept no other way. And he also had a platform helping men who were divorced in relationships and build the I'm gonna let him tell you because I get it wrong all the time. My boy Tony. Hey Tony.
Hey Donna, how you guys doing? Glad to be here.
Tony, what was the title of your
No, it's on the screen. The marriage redeveloper.
okay.
Marriage redeveloper. Yeah.
Listen, stop trying to act like because it's a little blurry going on already. Already. Okay. There it is.
Good to be here.
The marriage redeveloper. All right, y'all. We're gonna get started with this thing. We're gonna get started. Last week, um, this is part two of we said it would be a two-parter. This is part two. Last week we talked about what was our topic title last week, y'all? I drew a blank. Let me pull it up here. What our topic title was. That ain't how I met you.
Mm.
That ain't how I met you. Our topic last week was that ain't how I met you. So, anybody want to give a little overview, just a little quick overview of what we talked about last week? Either Corey or Tony.
Sure. We discussed how people change and why we have or haven't noticed the change. Trying to condense it as
Mm-hmm.
well as possible. Hopefully that was it.
Yeah, yeah. That was pretty good. That condensed it. Yes, yes. When those changes come in your relationship, and you're not recognizing or realizing something has something has switched, something has changed, but your partner's not necessarily talking to you and telling you, right? They're not necessarily talking to you and telling you, which is why we came to the point. King threw out a great topic, and our topic tonight, the title of our topic tonight is the myth of contentment. The myth of contentment. The myth of contentment. Which honestly, I think the myth of contentment, you all and King, just my first thought. I'm gonna kind of start out with my first thought. Usually I go around and I ask you guys, but I'm gonna start off with my first thought. The myth of contentment, especially going from what we talked about last week, just kind of says to me, I don't want to give up, but I really don't want to rock the boat. I'm not really saying a lot. So I'm just gonna act like things are cool. And we just gonna just live in this thing day to day to day. Um, and I'm just gonna be content. I'm just gonna be content. What you think? What you think, Miss Corey, when you saw the topic title, The Myth of Contentment? You on mute, baby.
Sorry. What you were explaining is actually not what I thought about. I thought
Okay.
about how, I guess it is. I assumed there was some people that didn't realize that they weren't content, maybe, that they were maybe missing something, not knowing what it is, not being able to pinpoint it, but something wasn't right. And it's that they believe they're content and they're really not.
Ooh.
Versus, I know I'm not content, but I'm gonna act like it is.
Okay.
Like I am.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Whoa. Yeah. Two different sides. Oh, okay. All right. Miss Tony, what your thoughts? What the myth of contentment? What comes to
So my first thoughts were coming from a male perspective. You know, we're pretty simple, and we kind of like what we like, and sometimes we don't like change. So we want things, you know. So we just content the way it is, and so when change comes or growth, you know, or moving forward, not just staying in the same place. Sometimes we get a little I don't know, bothered by it sometimes. So I was thinking more along those lines. Like, hey, I'm content. I'm good right here. Just,
Mhm.
you know, going to work, coming home, you know, paying the bills, taking a trip here and there, but nothing too drastic.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right, Miss Stacy. Your thoughts on the myth of contentment.
Um, the myth. Um, hmm. Well, my thoughts about contentment. I don't know about the myth. Is that hey, I'm satisfied. It
Mm-hmm.
is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We're in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think our thought process is very close on that. On that. So, King, of course, I saved you for last. Reason being, you
Oh, Miss Sophia home now. It's gonna be some all right. So I'm going to take everything that y'all have put out there because it's all great in itself. But I'm going to take it a step further. You have two people in a relationship, marriage, or whatever it is, and they seem to be okay with things. And then you have one of them that steps out of that situation. And
Hmm.
in that situation that they step out in, they find all of these things that they were missing. And when they look at their situation that they've been in for years,
Hmm.
that myth of contentment was there because they were under the guise that everything was good until they found this new thing that gave them life, and they're looking back at their situations like, oh, that was a myth of contentment right there.
Mm.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, Tony, we both. Mm.
Discovered something new. Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Or
Wow.
how about in addition to that, how about when you don't really know your person and you get into this relationship and the person's been holding back a little bit. Maybe they like to party more, but they didn't party because they knew you wasn't really a partier, but they
Mm.
holding back,
Mm.
but now they don't want to hold back anymore. And then we think that person's changed, but that person is just really becoming
Who they were.
their authentic self.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we just didn't take the time to ask the right questions
Mm.
to know that's how that person is.
Wow. Wow.
Or you could have asked the right questions, but they're like, well, hey, got them.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
they can just do what they want to do.
right, right.
I'm glad you said that, Stacy, because I was kind of the not the bottom part. Because I get some people are deceitful to get what they want. I get that people are
Yep.
deceitful, right? But my thought was, how many times can we remember meeting somebody? We've all been in relationships, right? Um, and someone made a good point. We're all been in relationships, but let me bring this one up real quick because somebody said,
Yeah. Ah.
yes, Miss Corby, there's
Bride to be.
been a request that you change your title. So
That
Mm.
we've all been in that place where we've got the warm and fuzzies about somebody, right? And
right.
we kind of, it's not that we ignored red flags. We're not talking about red flags. It's not that we ignored things or whatever, but we felt the warm and fuzzies for this person, and we didn't want to really say things to hurt their feelings. We didn't want to say things to, make them feel that we didn't really like them. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
so it's
No.
not. It's no, okay. So it's not necessarily that I'm being deceitful. It's that I really like this person and I don't want them to feel like I don't like them. So maybe I didn't. Maybe I wanted to go to the football game, but because I know he or she wanted to spend time with me, I didn't go to the football game. I took that time to be with him or her, even though that's what I knew I wanted to do. But then we get to the point of where Stacy said, "Got him." Now we're in this. Hey, babe, I'm going to the football game. See you later. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily a deceitful thing. It's I just want to be around my person. I want them to know I like them. I want this thing to grow and build, but I want to be somewhere else right now. I want to be doing what
Mm.
I normally do right now. But I'm going to kind of sacrifice that because I want to be, y'all see what I'm saying?
You know, the way you put that is okay. That person is there, but wants to be at the game. So that other person is in that myth of contentment because they don't know that other person would rather be at the game.
Right.
Yeah, you
Right.
choosing them instead of
Mm.
yourself.
Right. Is that not
Exactly.
a good thing?
I'm gonna choose me.
Let me ask the general, the consensus on that thought, that comment, that thought. Is that not a good thing?
That's horrible.
You
Right.
think that's horrible?
That's horrible.
Yes.
Tony, what do you say? That's
So
horrible.
I'm going to add to that. So have you ever been in a relationship where you're always doing what the other person likes?
Hmm.
Mm,
Now, I tend to be a person that I don't care. I don't care what we're doing. As long as I'm with you, I'm good. Right.
mm-hmm.
But then there's going to come a time where you're going to say, wait a minute. We never do anything that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to kind of question. So, according to what King is saying, if I'm always doing what you're doing and I'm cool with it, I'm kind of in this myth of contentment. Like, yeah, that's okay. It's okay. We can do what you want to do. But after a while, it gets old.
Yeah, but the
Mm.
question comes, it may get old because time goes on and things, things get
But is that
older day by
okay?
day. It's old. But is it a negative thing? Is my question.
Yeah.
It's a negative thing
To me, it
because
is. Oh.
yeah, I mean, if you if you have two people that's in a relationship and they both think that everything is good, but then one person stumbles across some exciting thing and they're looking back at their relationship and they're saying, you know, I would rather have been doing that, but I've been doing this nothing productive, no growth thing, no stimulation for so long. I was under the illusion that I was content in my relationship, but in reality, I wasn't
I
content.
wasn't. Right.
Right,
Can
right.
I
But
ask a
go,
question?
go. Sorry, go ahead, Corey. Corey, and then Stacey.
So before I make my statement, Soul Toucher, are you saying that the person the person thought everything else was okay until the rug was pulled from under them? Is that what you're saying? Or in reality, they were just like, you know what? Now that I look back, I wasn't happy.
Yeah, so like I know a lot of people who are in marriages and they say, "Oh, everything is cool. I do my thing, they do their thing." And they say they're okay with that. But
Mhm.
then something happens to where they're exposed to something else and then they're looking back at that situation where they say I'm okay with that and it's like I really was not okay with that, so I am under this myth of contentment in this relationship. But I realized that when somebody showed up, flashing lights and everything, I would rather have been doing that in my relationship, but I
Mhm.
have not for so long that I was fooling myself that I was content.
So,
So
sorry, go ahead, Corey.
my statement was I just wanted to read the definition of contentment
Okay.
because I'm thinking the definition is a deep, stable state of satisfaction, peace, and acceptance with your current situation. It involves appreciating the present moment and what you have rather than constantly craving more or obsessing over future achievements. So that that kind of spins everything on its head.
Well, the definition that you read is contentment,
Mm-hmm.
cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to the myth of contentment, people
Mm-hmm.
have this misconception that that definition applies to them.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So when
Okay. Okay.
like the example that I use, two people who have been
Mhm.
together, they have that definition in their head. Say, but so one person steps out and they cheat or whatever they do, and they're looking back and be like, "Oh, wow, I was not really content. I was fooling myself." That whole myth of contentment was right there because this is what we've been doing for so long.
Okay. So, Stacey, I know you have a question, but real quick, I apologize. I apologize. I want to say this. So, I see where you all are going, right? But I want to pull y'all back a little bit before, because I know the topic is the myth of contentment. But what I'm saying is, without all the other stuff, when you have those warm and fuzzies, this is what I want to do. I want to be around him. I want to be around her. I'm not sacrificing as in saying I'm going to regret this later or later I regretted it. I'm talking about the point of where this is what we want to do because we're learning our person and we're realizing, like Tony made a point, he said it doesn't matter to him what they're doing as long as they're together. I'm kind of coming from that point of view. And this would be the second part of that. If at some point Tony felt like, you know what, we never do anything that I do, then that changed the dynamic of it. And then Tony has to go back and say, hey, I think I would like for us to do something that I would like to do this week. Because I love being with you. I love going to hang out with you. I love doing those things. I'm getting different experiences with you that I may not have done, but let's come on back and I want to do this time this way. Y'all get what I'm saying? So it's not I was not quite at the myth part. I was just at the contentment part.
Okay.
Yes. I was just, and so that when you read that, Corey, that's why I was like, yes, that's why I'm not in my head because I wasn't quite at the myth part, and maybe I
really picked it up and ran with it.
Yeah, I kind of did. And I was trying to kind of bring it back a little bit because we gonna get to that myth part, but I appreciate it. So, Stacey, go ahead, sweetie. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to speak on what you said about, I'm trying to get to know this person. In my head, the way I would do it is this person need to get to know me too. So I'm going to do what I want to do. And then I'll say, hey, it's your turn to do what you want to do. I'm not going to always be stuck allowing this person to always do what they want to do just because of the simple fact that I want to be next to them. I can be next to them doing what I want to do.
But you're using, you're using negative terms, so to speak, right? And this is the thing: this person is there. They like you. You know they
I
like
like them too.
you, and you like them too. So that means that I think that goes kind of to the thought of if the focus is not the other person, then stay by yourself, kind of thought. Because when you get into a relationship and you're growing into a relationship, the focus is the other person without losing yourself and not saying never speak up to say, so say you don't want to do
But
it.
I don't feel like I was being negative because we can share things weekly. Like I don't like this type of movie, but since it's his turn, I'm going to watch that movie.
Well, that's all I was saying. Just right
Yeah.
there. Just right there.
Yeah.
Not the, well, it's your turn, then it's my turn. We're just talking about the other person. The
Oh
other
yeah. Because I
Yeah.
thought that you said that sometimes like you was like saying I heard you wrong. I thought you were saying that it's some stuff that I want to do, but I just want to be so close to this person that I'm gonna stop doing this.
I did say that. I didn't say
Oh,
stop doing it. I'm just saying at this moment, the football game is on. For example, the football game is on. I really rather be taking a nap or maybe get my clothes ready for the week. Or maybe,
but is it negative if I want to do that?
no, what I'm saying is looking at the other person. Because we're not at the myth yet. We're at I was just pointing out the one of the points I'm pointing out is I'm saying is it being content still requires you to be you, but when you're dealing with somebody else, you're pouring into that person. And this is not with the thought of somebody's taking advantage of you, because that's the first thing you said. You were like, you spoke
No,
on.
I didn't think they were going to take advantage of me.
Well, that's the first thing you said when I said it. You spoke on where was it? At what point? I'm sorry, y'all help me out. When your response was, shoot, y'all will have to help me out on this. I'm trying to get my brain.
Well, we we were talking about, I had brought up, have you ever been with somebody that you're always doing what they want? And I'm just
Mhm.
going to throw this out. I had a father-in-law. He passed a couple years ago. He would say, "Hey, let's go do this," and I'd say, "Okay, cool." And then it dawned on me, like 4 or 5 years later, he never does what I want to do. If I say, "Hey, Dad, let's do this," he'll say, "No, I'm okay. I just want to chill. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to chill." But it never really connected with me. Okay.
Mhm.
And I got to the point where I was like, yeah, I was content with being in his presence and doing what he liked, because at the time it really didn't matter. But once, and this is where I go, kind of what King is saying. Once I
Mhm.
realized, wait a minute, this is a one-sided relationship, because
Mhm.
I'm always doing what he wants, and he never does what I want to do. And I have some friends, and then I started looking at my friendships, and I said, man, I got some relationships that are exactly like that.
Yeah.
Great guy, wonderful guy. I loved him, but I was like, you know what? I think I think I want to spend time with people that reciprocate.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're doing one time you're doing what they want, one time you're doing what they want. Now,
Right.
in saying that,
Yeah.
I just want to say that contentment is a good thing. To be content is a good thing, okay? But I think we want to talk beyond that.
Right. And that's where I was. That's where I was. The contentment being a good thing. And I remember now, Stacy, it was about the getting to know somebody part. And that's why I said, when I'm not talking about somebody being deceptive, because people can be deceptive to get to what they want. That was the part I was talking about. I just remembered. And when you made the statement, and that's why I came back and said, we're not talking about someone being deceptive, because we know people can be deceptive. I'm talking about what Tony just said. The good part of contentment is what I was talking about. And like Corey said, yeah, y'all kind of ran with it before we got there.
Right, 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 right.
And I know based on the topic, that's where we're going. And maybe I should have saved that for the latter part as opposed to the earlier part, because
But
we're
but
here at
but
the
I
end.
get what Stacy is saying,
Oh yeah, I do too.
because when I'm talking to the men, okay, and I'm saying, for example, hey, this is what husbands should be this way,
Mm-hmm.
okay. After a while, they're like, oh, well, what about the wife? What about my wife? Ain't my wife supposed to be a certain way? And we always say to them, hey, well, we're not wives, we're not women, we're men, we're husbands,
Mm-hmm.
and you can only control your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, wives do need to be a certain way, but you don't not be what you're supposed to be because they're being something different.
Right.
But what I hear Stacy saying is, if you're learning your person, then they got to learn you too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
most definitely.
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no disagreement with that at all. No, yeah, yeah. But again, y'all just kind of sped faster than I did. So that's what that that's what that was. Y'all kind of sped a little bit faster than I did, but it's okay. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mary. We don't want to miss that she jumped in, and I didn't get a chance to say we didn't get a chance to say hello
So
to her.
Mary actually has a statement, um, and what she said was, to me, in retrospect, I did everything he wanted to do, but I wasn't true to myself.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So let's just go right there. Let's just go right there then, because we're here. Let's just go right there, and that is the topic title: the myth of contentment. The myth of contentment. Um, King, when you said at the beginning your intro part, did you um make notes of what you sent when you opened up with your statement? Well, did it come from here? Any of that?
I didn't use any notes.
Okay.
No
Okay.
notes.
Okay. The core concept. Everybody has that?
Mhm.
The
Yes.
core concept. Okay. So can you read the core concept? The myth of contentment, balancing individual goals with shared vision.
Yeah. People often enter relationships expecting their partner to be a complete puzzle piece that matches their current life, but real growth means both individuals will change over time. This topic covers how to grow together when your individual trajectories, careers, or personal philosophies start to shift.
Start the shift, growing together. Because last week that could have been great talking about that shift that you're in a relationship and you did the shift all by yourself, and the other person didn't
Right.
realize what was happening because you did the shift all by yourself. I love the part, the puzzle piece that matches their current life. Like we get into these relationships, and sometimes the expectation is, well, they're gonna like what I like. They're gonna do what I want to do. They're gonna and that takes it that with that myth part. So handling that, how do we handle that? How do we handle that when we thought the puzzle piece was perfect? Hey, Kevin, we thought the puzzle piece was perfect and it's not. So how do we handle that as opposed to, like we said last week, just going off into your own never land, and your person is sitting here like, what the heck happened?
Communication is the bigger part in that, um, and not just accepting what is. Because if you're not feeding your relationship, if you're not speaking up for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not respecting your boundaries, then you're just going to accept whatever is there, and eventually you're going to say everything is okay. If it's not bad per
Hmm.
se, everything is okay. And then you get into that whole mindset that, well, I'm content because it could be worse.
Hmm. Hmm. I think we've all, by show of hands, who's been content because it could be worse. How did I know Corey and Stacy weren't gonna raise their hand? So speak on that, ladies. Speak on that.
Now I'm digging through the files trying to think of if that's happened before. Give
Okay.
me a moment.
Okay. Okay. So nothing coming up in the Rolodex, the mental Rolodex, huh? Okay. Okay. Stacy, what about you? You didn't raise your hand, so speak on that.
Um, I feel like when two people come into the relationship, right? I can only do my part. I'm only responsible for my part. I only know how to be me. I don't know how to be nobody else. I'm not saying all of me is perfect. I am willing to change. I am willing to adapt and overcome. So that's all I know how to be is my genuine self. Um, I'm big on communicating. Um, so I feel like if it is a problem, and I'm talking about a committed relationship, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if it's worth, if
Yeah.
I'm dating somebody and I feel like it's worth saving, because first you got to date them to get to the committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like it's worth saving,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I will fight and communicate. But if I feel like, you know what, this is a non negotiable, I'm going to stop it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because um, that's how you get to what we're talking about. Letting stuff slide, or, if it's not that bad, it could
Mm-hmm.
be worse. When, you can be peaceful at peace with yourself. You don't just have to be in a relationship. You can
Mm-hmm.
be satisfied loving on yourself. And when that person comes, that's your person that's gonna you know, accept your boundaries, meet you where you are, and you know, love you the way you want to be loved, and you're gonna love that person the way they want to be loved, then that's workable. But to just feel like I'm letting myself down to accept something, I've never done that. Because
Mm-hmm.
in the long run, when it doesn't work out, you're gonna feel miserable. Like, you know, I did this and they still end up doing this. I don't want to know what that feels like.
Yeah. I don't know that, and King and Tony, y'all can say if you're in the same space with this based off of what she said. I don't know that I ever let myself down just to, that's like, letting myself down just to please somebody else. Um, I do understand and agree that it's big to focus on you and love yourself enough that you won't just accept anything, that you won't accept anything. But the question was posed that way. Yeah. Who Mary said, yep. Mary said, yep, she has done it as well. So based on what she said, gentlemen, do y'all see it the same way?
Uh,
Hmm.
I can say I did let myself down in that situation because I wasn't being true to myself. And,
Mm,
I put myself in a situation to where I said, I'm content. Everything is
mm,
good. It could be worse. So, in retrospect, looking back on situations like that, those are relationships I stayed in too long,
too long.
where, and it was under that myth of contentment because it was like, well, we're here, nobody's dying, so it's whatever, and just go through everyday life with it, just going through life.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would say I let myself down because I could have done better for myself. I could have advocated for myself more internally and externally.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. What about you, Tony?
Now, I've been divorced twice. So, and I can say now that my marriages, I had great times. I had great times, but I also had some really bad times. But when I met my current wife, Paula, I call her my final, there's not much she could do that could top what had already been done to me.
Hmm.
So life was good. Now we've been married for 13 years. Now does my wife Paula bug me sometimes? Yeah, she does bug me sometimes.
Hmm.
But it hasn't even come close to what other people have done in relationships to me. So but I can see, like King, where in those first two relationships I stayed for various reasons, but I stayed much longer than I should have. Even in my second relationship, my second wife moved out. I
Hmm.
mean, we've been separated for 5 years, but as far as I was concerned, we were still married. Now I have a lot of hope in me, So if anyone needs hope, just call me up and I'll share some with you.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
back, but looking back, like King said, I stayed too long. I stayed too long, and I guess I could say that I did lose some of myself because I was trying to be what they needed, what I thought they needed me to be.
Hmm.
In reality, they didn't want me.
Hmm.
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 It didn't matter. All the work that I did really didn't matter because they decided they didn't want me. So I wasn't going to be able to change that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with the answer, me raising my hand, well, not I think, I know, I'm between Corey and Stacy and King and Tony.
Hmm.
And I say I'm between because there was a relationship where I stayed too long, but at the same time I never lost me in staying too long, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
that makes sense. That
yeah,
makes sense.
I stayed too long because I wanted to be sure on my side, I did everything that I needed to do, and I would not walk away looking back saying, that was me on that one. You know what I mean? So staying too long, but not losing myself, because I'm always about loving me, and because if you can't feel anybody else if you're not full, if you have nothing to give, you can't. Even if you're, excuse me, giving a part, you still got to be full enough to even give a part or a little bit. And then when you realize, I've said it, ladies, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have the capacity for this. So I knew there wasn't no staying around too long. So knowing your capacity, knowing what looks long to Stacy may be short to King.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Knowing your capacity. Greg says something I want to bring up before we go too far. Tony, can you read that, please?
Sure. One person is always willing to go out of their way for the other. Meanwhile, the things they want to do, as well as their feelings, are put to the side for the sake of the relationship.
Mm-hmm. For the sake of the relationship. And then he added,
they end up being miserable and resentful.
Miserable and resentful. The myth of contentment. The myth of contentment. And that's what y'all are talking about. And that's what y'all are saying. I'm going out of my way. I'm going further. And that's what, Stacy, your point comes in, and it hits solid. I'm doing so much on this end, and it's not coming back on my end. The reciprocity is not real. I love saying reciprocity is real, but the reciprocity is not real. And then here we go with the resentment part. Let's see what Kevin has to say. Hey, Kev. Corey, can you read Kevin's, please?
Mm-hmm. I think folks aren't content. I think folks aren't content, but more so have a hope addiction, hoping he or she becomes what we want. So we ignore the obvious, chasing the hope.
Yeah.
I thought you
That's
froze.
strong.
So we ignore the obvious, chasing the hope.
I'm sorry. So we ignore the obvious, chasing the hope.
I thought you froze. I said, well, let me finish it because I think she froze.
Sorry.
Chasing the obvious, ignoring the obvious, chasing the hope. Ignoring the obvious, chasing the hope.
I want to say this. Mm-hmm. I think that happens when you really don't know the person and you really don't like everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're living in the future. You're not living in the present. You're looking to what you think they could become,
the potential,
their potential. So you're living for their potential.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they never reach their potential, you mad.
You disappointed. Yep.
They were who they were going to be the whole time.
Right. That's why we say you got to like the cake.
Or it can be that everything in the beginning was lovey-dovey. It could be lovey-dovey, and then you stop dating each other, you stop doing this, and that person learn who that person was in the beginning. That was your expectations. We always had date night, we always did this together, and it slows down, and the slowness becomes a stop. So you're hoping that person comes back
to what they were.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you were attracted to.
That's what you're. Yep.
Because people feel like, hey, we gotta, we're married. This is it. But it's not it. You got to keep doing what you did to get that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Say it all the time. Look, if you're going to keep me, do what you was doing. You got to keep doing what you was doing to get me.
And you know what? People may look at me on this platform and think that I'm a mean person, but I'm really not a mean person. I am such a lover girl, and I know how much love I have to give. And I feel like if you're not deserving, because I know how to love, and
You
I
know
feel
what?
like
That's so
if I'm
believable.
not going to get that love back,
Mm,
I
Yeah,
can't. I
mm,
can't waste my time to even show you this experience over here.
yeah,
mm.
Come on
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Come
That's
on,
right.
yeah,
Stacey.
yeah. And that's what I was getting ready to say. You know why
Come
that's
on,
believable?
Stacey.
Because
That's
you,
marketing
yeah,
right there, boy. That's marketing. That's top notch marketing right there.
that is, that is, that was. So damn them that think you me. But the further picture of that is exactly what you said. It's exactly what you said. No, it ain't being mean. It's self preservation. I'm preserving. I'm preserving. I'm preserving because why? Like why should I let you do XYZ? Why should I?
Y'all better read up on a Virgo love.
Mm.
So Stacy, you early Virgo or late Virgo?
September 10th.
Oh, so you like Paula. So I'm a early. I'm August. I'm an August Virgo.
Yeah.
So you early Virgo?
Early Virgo. Stacy and Paula are late Virgos.
Stacey,
Which
check
is
the
a
chat.
different. There's a different. So that because
It is
that's
a difference.
different. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Stacey, check the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not paying attention. That's all I could think about when you said that.
Oh man, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Ooh,
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
look at that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All this love.
Mm.
That's all I
Yeah.
heard when she said that.
Yeah. And that's where it comes from. And I get it.
Mhm.
I get it. Mm-hmm. I get it.
My
All of
baby.
it. And those people that don't stay in the area of contentment and move along, we're gonna move along. Because this contentment is not the positive of the word that we spoke. This is trying to wait for you to do something and you have not done it or shown yourself to be true to what you said or who you presented at the beginning. I'm not gonna be content with that. So I get it, sis. I get it. I get it. I get it. Let's see what
I
Kevin
think I
said.
think the other side of the coin though that we have to understand is some people are never going to be content.
Hmm.
Ooh.
They're always looking for more.
Mm.
And I think I'm not all men, but some men have a problem with that because I have said this before. Sometimes, and I'm only speaking for men, sometimes we want to celebrate the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we don't have, there's not enough time given to celebrate some things because, oh, yeah, we did that. Okay, good. But what's next?
Hmm.
What are you going to do next? You know, you got that job. Yeah, it's a better job, but that still ain't the job we need. We need this big job over here. And so you don't celebrate those moments because you're constantly moving because you're never content. And I think that's a personality that if you have friends, I have friends that they're always changing jobs, they're always changing their environment because they can never be content.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the ones that can find contentment, then when they grow and move towards those other things, it's more satisfying.
But what if that is their contentment though?
Their
What if
contentment is never being content.
that but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Cause
maybe.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
But I get it. I get what you're saying, but that just popped in my head. What if that is their contentment?
That could
Like
be.
I need a new adventure. I want a new adventure. But the problem with that would be if your significant other was like, they ain't going, sit down somewhere. What you mean? Again? I'm not moving. I'm not doing like no.
You see, I think this is where, oh, I forgot what it's called. There's like these four categories of different personalities. You have your sanguine, you have your choleric, you have your melancholic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
they're different
temperament types, right?
temperaments. There you go, temperament
Temperaments.
Mm-hmm.
types.
Temperaments. Mm-hmm.
Right. So that person who's always looking for something else, like the person that we know who's good at everything, but they don't stay at one job for long at all, people like that, there are certain people that they match well with. And I
Yeah.
think that they have to know themselves and
Yeah.
know what person and their temperament works for them. And then that's okay because the person's like, all right, we'll support your dream for now until you find
Mm-hmm.
another one. And
Mm-hmm.
there are people out like, people like their like
Yeah.
that for those
Yeah.
Just
folks.
like
Who was that
just
comedian
like
that said?
just like those two people that climbed that Empire State Building.
I thought that was fake.
Perfect time. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Yeah, those types.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were meant to be together.
They were meant to be together.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
bad. Too bad they won't be in jail together. But hopefully they'll
Right.
get out. Hopefully they'll
Right.
get out soon.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. So King had to go. We wanted to make sure we acknowledged him before he left. Um. Okay. Let's see. I want to put up Kevin's a comment. Corey, can you read Kevin's?
Yes. Interest and love are actionable words. Folks show you who they are, and it's our responsibility to recognize the red flags and move accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When someone shows you who they are,
Believe them.
believe them.
And you know what? Sometimes they can show you who they are, and they can just, and it cannot even be a red flag. It's just something that, you know what? Just, hey, I don't want to move that much.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, hey, we're not gonna be, I'm simple.
Mm-hmm.
You move the fast life. Or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people balance out each other.
Right. Right. I was just gonna say,
Mhm.
like, the
Mhm.
opposites attract. Thought process. The opposites attract. This one is da 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 da, and this one just laid back and like, what?
Just watching. Oh, this is what they do. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. But it's something about that they like.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like, I love that my baby is a go getter. I love that he or she um is bringing new adventures. Now, I'm not gonna jump out the plane, but I'm gonna be there cheering. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna be there cheering, but I'm not gonna be the one. So you're right. It balances out. It balances out. So Touchy said it earlier. You got to feed the relationship or watch how your inaction starve the life out of it. Ooh,
Mm.
ooh, starve the life out of it. Mm, Okay, so I have a video that I want to play a video clip, and it's going to take us into um our last point. But the question was, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? This is my first time using this little action right here, y'all. So let's hope it comes out right. Let me go ahead and so that moved a little bit quick. Do y'all think I should play it again and pause in between? Or do y'all
Yeah, I
think
think you could. I think you could play. I don't know that you have to pause, but I think
Yeah.
you could play it again,
play it
and then
again?
that way people will see the things they missed.
Okay, okay. And then this is gonna take us into our last part. I believe we stayed on screen for that. Did y'all see us?
Yes.
Yeah, because normally when we play a video clip the other way, it's muted. It'll say you're muted. Well, okay. All
Right.
right. So I'm going to play it again so we can go through it again, and then we're going to talk about this last part of our discussion. So I saw that video um, probably about 2 weeks ago or so, and I had already saved it because I knew it would be perfect to come into this part of things. That was actually um, my one of my pastors at the church I attend, Revision, Atlanta. Pastor Calazar and his wife. I call her my homegirl because she's from up top Brooklyn, and we see each other, and it's like homegirl. Um, and I wanted to put up their platform, but I didn't get the link for it, so I can add it later on. But let me pull out these points right here, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel that video goes so perfect. Um, we talked about the core concepts, right, of why there's a myth. The myth of contentment happens because our expectations of the other person is for them to fit right where we want them to, and for them to grow how we grow, when we grow, where we grow. And then we get to this point that we're faking contentment. There's a myth because what the video said, which why it was perfect, they were in the same room, two different places. They were in the same, and it said we love each other. They love each other, all of those things, the things that we caught in the video. But like just kind of paraphrasing, like, so what is happening? Like what is happening? I want to be with this person, but I'm here, he's here, or I'm here and she's here, and we're in two different worlds. We're in two different mindsets, two different thought processes. So, one thing, and I'm sorry that King had to go. We praying everything as well. He had an emergency, but I wanted him to read this off because this was the second part of what he sent. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do it justice, right? So, identifying the thin line between supporting your partner's evolution and losing your own identity. Identifying the thin line between supporting your partner's evolution and losing your own identity. How do we do that? How do you all suggest we do that?
Communication. Communication. If you decide that you want to do something different or explore another path, say that. So then your partner can say, okay, so how are you going to do that? How are you going to start that off? How can I support you? Because if you just start going another direction and your partner's like, what's going on? What's changing? That's a problem right there. Just communicate. Tell somebody. Say something. If you feel a little off or something feels like it's missing, say something. You might not know exactly what it is, but at least communicate that so maybe y'all can figure it out together. But
Mm-hmm.
when you start veering off to the left and your partner thinks y'all going straight,
Mm,
well, y'all in the same vehicle. How's that going to happen?
mm,
How is that
mm.
supposed to happen?
What you
That's
think?
just my thoughts.
I
I don't
agree.
know. I've not been married before.
I agree.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Countdown. Go ahead. What you say, Tony? What you think?
And oh,
No, Stacy, go ahead. I just was agreeing.
and it can be like simple things like, you know, acknowledging your partner when they come home. You used to do
Mm,
that all the time.
mm,
Now they just walk in and you just walk in and just start doing what you got to do, Or when you leave, you used to say, hey, see you later, babe. Give each other a kiss or a hug, and that stop. Like the little things. It's the little things that become big things.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The little things become big things. Kevin said, put the phone down and turn the TV off. This is where folks need to communicate organically. Distance widens in
Mm.
silence.
Come on, Kev. What are
Ooh.
we talking about, sir?
Distance widens in silence. Being consumed with our own, we tend to forget the building of us.
Did you read that somewhere,
Kevin,
sir? Where you get that from, brother?
listen, we're not at the
Come
studio,
on,
but
Kevin.
but we Tony's student of the
Yeah.
week.
Student of the month of the week.
Yeah.
Kevin gets on the
Ooh,
board.
He's on a roll.
Kevin gets on
Because
the board.
you know what? When you
distance.
look at that video, they were doing apps. You can do it that way, or you can do absolutely nothing, holding each other, and that way can be even better because it's a touch, it's a
Mm-hmm.
feel,
It's
and
Mm-hmm.
you can
grounded.
just lay there and not even say anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Distance widens the
Mhm,
silence. He said life
Mm-hmm.
lessons. Ain't
mhm.
nobody
Mm-hmm.
teach him nothing, Corey. That's
Hmm.
him.
Hmm. Come on now.
Yes.
So I wanna share a hot moment. Hot is the acronym for honest, open, and transparent. So I'm gonna be honest, open, and transparent. My wife Paula isn't here, but I'm gonna share something about us. So about a year ago, she came to me and said, "Hey, I met this group of ladies, and uh, they smoke cigars, and that's what I want to do. I want to hang out with these ladies, and I want to smoke cigars." And if I was a husband that said, "No, no, 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 you're not going," first of all, I don't even agree with that. I don't do that. You're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I was a little insecure and say, "Well, why? What, okay, one time, but like, why do you got to hang out?" It's like a social club,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually do service. They do service in the community. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like a community service group. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great group. It's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do it. Now I've gone with her at times when she does smoke, but I that's just not me. I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Yeah.
gone and she's gone to smoking parties where it's mixed company, but that's just not me. So
Mm-hmm.
how do we how do we allow
Mm-hmm.
your significant other to grow, even if it's something that you're not 100% down with? And
Trust.
basically, again, you have to know your person, and you have to accept your person. I
Right.
I love Paula, okay? And that's a part of Paula. Maybe that wasn't a part of Paula when I first met her,
Mm-hmm.
but now that's a part of Paula.
Your partner's evolution.
I can fight it and we can grow apart, or I can learn my person and just set boundaries. I can set boundaries now
Right.
and say, well, man, you can't be going out 2-3 times a week doing this, but I got to know my person. And that's
Mm-hmm.
and that's now, if I just sit there and put my foot down and say, no, you're not going to go, what do you think is going to happen being married to a girl from the south side of Chicago? There's going to be friction. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that,
mm-hmm.
but I've chosen to embrace it. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't participate in it because it's not my thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
So
love
I have
that.
a question. I have a question.
Mm-hmm. Cause I
So,
yeah.
so what do you do when it's a non-negotiable? When you come to, like you said, an evolution, not your example, because you embraced it.
Correct.
But what if it's a non-negotiable for the other person? How do you address that?
You have to let grown people be grown.
Well,
And
I guess it would be, was this non-negotiable? Like Paula and I
Well,
had,
that wasn't a non-negotiable for you.
Paula and I each have one non-negotiable each.
mm,
Okay.
Mm.
They're pretty significant. I mean, they're not something that one might say is, and even though it might be real to you, it could be, these are not petty things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say who is who, but one is if you cheat, that's it.
That's it.
The other one is if you lay hands on me, that's it.
That's it.
Those are pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I don't know if somebody had a non negotiable, you can't go anywhere. You're married, you're my wife. You can't be in public by yourself. Or let's just say this because this comes up a lot. You cannot take girl trips.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
cannot take trips without me
Mm-hmm.
because I know what goes on in those girl trips. Now that's a toughie. Like what do you? I don't know if that's, that might be your non-negotiable, but is that a reasonable?
Is that reasonable?
And
Right.
is that more because you're insecure,
Mm-hmm.
or is that really because there's a danger?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, because I know it can't go nowhere without the other,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Mhm.
how they have established um their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm having something and it's all girls, and even though we're friends,
They
she
can't
has
come.
to apologize and say, hey, I can't come if he can't come.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I mean, that's what works for them.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Yeah, I love that. Those non-negotiables. And
Mhm.
again, I'm gonna say it again. You have to let grown people be grown. Even God doesn't control us. We have
Mhm.
Mhm.
free will.
Yeah, that's one of the
And based
non-negotiables.
on that, and based on that free
Mhm.
will, whatever the consequences or the results of your actions are, you got to take it on the chin, just the way you know. And again, taking the time to know your person, learn
Mhm.
your person, respect, because initially out the gate, I'm going to respect someone, right? Until you give me a reason, until you show me that there is a reason that I should not trust you, sorry, a reason why I should not trust you, then but in the process of getting to know you, in the process of not jumping and moving so fast, because somebody say, I like you, you like me, you like me, I like you, let's be. It's more to it than that. So you get to those points where you understand, hey, just using Tony's example, hey, if she goes out with the crew and she's, in an event and they smoking and that's a part of what they do, I know her. I'm trusting that she's going to do what she says she's going to do. Because everything in the dark comes to light. Eventually it does. And then you have to accept the consequences of what that is. So Stacey, that's what I would say.
Mhm.
If it's just so like, I just don't agree with that. But like Tony said, it's got to be realistic. Like, did you die? Like
Mhm.
literally.
Well, I'm just saying because that was their non-negotiable. They
Yeah.
can't go
Yeah, they
anywhere
set that
without
up.
each other.
Right.
Yeah.
They set that up right in the beginning.
Yep.
But now I'm not saying, but that could fall under the myth of contentment because now that can't, there's no flexibility there. There's
Yeah.
no flexibility at all.
But that goes back to what I said at the beginning, though, y'all. I want to go on this girl trip, for example. I want to go on this girl trip, but I know if I go on this girl trip, my husband, for whatever his reasons are, and me and him know that,
Right.
whatever his reasons are, I'm not going to go. I have to respect that, even though I want to go. That's what I was talking about at the beginning about the contentment of giving to your other person. That's a perfect example of that. I want to go on this girl trip. My girl, all my homegirls going. I know they're going to have a good time. There are no intentions of doing anything because also knowing me, my man is going to know who my close friends are. And he's going to know what type of circles I travel in. And the same thing, vice versa. We'll have those problems. But if it comes down to it, if he says, I don't want you to go for these reasons, even though I don't necessarily agree to those reasons, because he feels that way, I am guarding the perimeters of my relationship.
Hmm.
Tony said for a minute ago, Tony said, I don't care what we do as long as we together, right? In the
Right.
context of that, as long as
Right.
we together, I don't care what we're doing. And they want to go bull riding. And you're like, bull riding? But I'm going to go because my baby want to go bull riding. May not be comfortable with it, but did I die? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about at the beginning. One of those, that's a perfect example of that. I want to go with my girls, but my man, for the reasons that he and I know and understand, because we talked about it, because we came to this point that when it comes up, I already know my answer because we talked about it.
So now I'm the kind of person that I can accept that, but I
Mhm.
still want to understand
Right.
why.
Why? That's
So I
right.
ask why. Okay, so I want to understand why can't I go out with the guys? Just I want to know what is the basis. Now, if Paula comes back
That's
and
only
says,
fair.
because I said so, because I'm your wife, see, that don't work for me.
Right.
That's not my personality. That don't work for me. Even though I don't want to do anything that would hurt her, it it has to be reasonable. You have to have some reasoning and thought behind things. You can't just say, because like what your parents used to say. Well, they used to say that to me,
Because I
because I
said
said
so.
so. Why I got to do this? Because I said so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
for me, it would have helped to know why.
Yeah.
Now I understand why they said that, but did it help me growing up? No, not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Right. Because
Not
there's dangers
necessarily.
that I didn't even understand were dangers. And maybe if I understood that danger, it would help me to logically think that through and be like, okay, I don't want to do that. Not just because you said no, you can't do it, you know. Because remember, y'all, we're coming to a healthy end.
Right.
These conversations come to a healthy end.
So how do you
So,
deal with it? So how do you deal with it? And I guess if it falls outside of a non-negotiable, then how do you deal with it even if you're not that's not you?
mm-hmm,
Like there's things I don't do,
mm-hmm,
but
yep,
do but as a husband, can I can I put what I don't do on my wife?
Hmm.
say that again,
I'm
because
a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian.
I'm sorry, say that again.
If I'm
It cut out for a second,
There are
Tony. I
certain
missed
things
it.
I don't do. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's certain things I don't do. Okay. Is it reasonable for me? Is it godly for me to say,
Mm,
because I don't do these things, you can't do these things? Like, let's say my diet was a certain way. So your diet has to be my way.
mm,
Okay.
right.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't drink, you can't smoke. Because for me, I don't believe in that. I don't agree with that. But is it reasonable? And I'm not talking about when you first get together,
Right,
because you should know those things.
Hmm.
right,
But if I
right,
marry you and now all of a sudden, you were cool with it, but now you're gonna sit there and
right.
it's like you're gonna start eating pork in my house. I'm gonna have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm gonna have meat. You can eat all the meat you want, but pork, I'm gonna have a problem with that. But so where does the line drawn on growth in allowing your spouse to become who God created them to be?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for me is the foundation. I can trust Paula that she's ultimately going to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. We
Sometimes
have,
it can come from me.
sorry. We have two more parts to this, y'all, and I want to get to these. Um, this one of the last parts that King sent. How to create a shared relationship vision statement. how to create a shared relationship vision statement that gets updated annually, much like a business or personal audit. I like that because as we evolve and we change and we get older and we get our perspectives change because that experience, I didn't have that experience initially, but now
Right.
that I've had this experience, now I got something to say about it. So, um, creating a shared relationship vision statement. I like that, Corey. Much like a business or personal audit. And every year, annually, you're going to update that thing. Or I guess you could update it based on job situations change, things that change, physical health changes. We got to go back and look at we got to update, you know, our vision statement. Like what is reasonable for life now? What's reasonable for life? Navigating the anxiety that surfaces when one partner is going through a rapid phase of self discovery or healing while the other feels left behind. Navigating the anxiety that surfaces when one partner is going through a rapid phase of self discovery or healing while the other feels left behind. We got to talk.
Mm,
We got to talk. What you think,
mm.
Corey?
Say that again.
How do you navigate the anxiety that comes up when your partner is moving along, and you sitting there like, I'm just here, like steady.
Well, you either hop in the car, get run over, or get some therapy to help you
Mm.
figure it out. Because where's your bell?
I don't have it with me. I don't. I did. Let's just.
Ding ding ding.
It didn't travel with me.
Um, maybe there's something going on. It could be depression. It could be anything. If somebody's doing all this stuff, like they start doing all this stuff, and you feel a way, like, and is it me? Am I not keeping up with the pace? Have I slowed down? Maybe you need someone to help you figure that out. And maybe it's not you. Maybe your partner just got the zoomies. You know what I
Self
mean?
discovery and healing. Yeah, your
And
partner. Yeah.
it could be that they're in this phase of life where they feel like they got more time
Ooh.
behind them than ahead. And I don't want to regret things. I don't want to miss anything. Let's go here. Let's do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And now, there's something going on. Maybe they need to see a therapist. But I think if you communicate your feelings, that's the start.
Mm-hmm.
That's the start.
This just came to me real quick. It says self discovery or healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, say your partner deals with trust issues.
Mm-hmm.
They deal with trust issues because things happen to them in life, so they don't trust. They don't trust. And you're used to them questioning you. You're used to them, you know, acting a certain way, and it could be aggravating. It could be, you know what, okay, you know what, I'm gonna answer these questions because if I don't answer these questions, then they're not gonna feel comfortable, and I want them to feel comfortable. So I'm gonna go out my way and answer these questions, right? And then your partner is in that place of healing, like I said, because they sat on somebody's couch.
Mm-hmm.
They sat on somebody's couch, and now what you're seeing is a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm.
so used to navigating this old way.
Mm.
How do we do that? That just popped it. How
Because
do we
that's a
do
good thing.
that?
Because that's a good thing, right?
That's
But
it.
it's,
That's
but
Yeah,
good.
it's different.
that's a
Yeah,
good
it's a
thing.
change. But it's a change, and you could let your mind just run with that, right? And
Right.
so now your spouse is actually going through the healing that you wanted them to go through, but you don't like it
Right.
because it's not the same. Like it's different. It's a change for you, and you're wondering what's going on.
Which
That,
means is
that,
that
uh,
self discovery. I come at
that's interesting. I'll share this. I'll share this. Another transparency thing.
Because I sure got one
There
too.
are people. There are people that to this day come up to Paula and say, "Hey, wow, you are so different," and they'll say this common thing. They'll say, "You used to be so
Mm, mm,
mousy." So I don't know if you guys know what mouse, but basically
mm-hmm,
passive.
mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
And now you're this just
Confidence.
strong, confident
Mm-hmm.
woman, right?
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not a good thing when there's conflict. Now, I grew up around strong women, so that's what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to a strong woman, so I'm attracted to that. But sometimes I have it in the back of my mind, man, why wouldn't she just listen or be? Why can't she just go with the flow this time? Why she
Mm-hmm,
gotta be so hard and conf?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes we are afraid to let our partner become their authentic self because we don't know if we can handle
We
that.
not ready for it. That's
We're not
right.
ready for it.
Mm.
But it's really what they need to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's what they need to be. So which means that can come full circle. Your partner may have really, really, really depended on you. Cause like you said, the mousy part. She was, so passive. Like, what's she? But now there's this strength that's coming from growth.
Right.
So what do you do?
That's crazy. Because now that I think about it, I can see how someone being used to someone being more timid and shy and passive can have an issue with their confidence because
Mm-hmm.
it served them.
Right.
Maybe, I'm not saying that's the case, but maybe it
Maybe.
served them and benefited them when that person wasn't as confident. And now it doesn't serve you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Or
and,
their confidence is greater than your confidence.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're looking at yourself and insecure. So
Now
that's when
you
you've got
become
run
more
over.
insecure. Right.
Right. Now
Mm-hmm.
you more you're right, more insecure. Well, honey, just get run over. Just get run over. In a relationship, you got when the person's healing and it's for the good, you're gonna have to get on board.
Yeah. Yeah. Finding new discoveries. Self.
Adapt and overcome.
Huh?
Adapt.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
Yep. And especially when it's for the positive, congratulate.
Because it should have been something you've been waiting on. Like
Right.
Hmm.
I would get so tired if I had to deal with somebody who was cheated on and they always, where you going? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? And then all of a sudden they stop asking me. I'd be like, finally, finally. But I wouldn't tell them that. But in my brain,
Hmm.
I'll be like, finally.
Because it was
I wouldn't be
aggravating.
mad. I wouldn't be like, why he's not asking me where I'm going? I would be like, finally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, when a person is healing and they are making progress to their own healing, you're typically in support of them.
Exactly.
So I feel like if that were to happen, you probably sit back and just be proud. Like, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at where how far you come. I'm proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because if you're
Mhm.
seeing the opposite of that, you know something. You know something. Growth and the support of a partner has allowed them space to get more comfortable with themselves and thus giving them room to be more expressive. I like that. I like that. I have to put this one back up before we leave, y'all, because it was so. Let me find it. Let me find it.
So is it true that can you outgrow your partner? And if you're in a marriage, I mean, if you're in a committed relationship or a marriage, can you outgrow your person?
If you really love, okay, go ahead on.
I was about to say that. I was gonna say if you know if y'all are truly in
Right.
love because if I am climbing all of the ladders and I'm doing all the things and my partner is doing what he did before, but I love and respect him and he does the same for me, I understand that that's who he is. He is saying, baby, go ahead and spread your wings and fly. I'm here. I'm with you. I got you. But when you feel like you've outgrown them, I feel like that's because you resent the person or I'm here now. And then you're still doing that. Oh, well, they were fine when you met them like that. They, hold up. That's how you met them.
Yep.
Baby, is that you? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, if you love each other, you're not going to outgrow each other.
Hmm. I love that answer.
And then you
You're
know
not
what?
gonna
And then
outgrow
you
each other
didn't
because you're gonna end up you're supporting one another.
exactly. You didn't get there by yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And you
Yep.
recognize that, even though and I have to say this, my ex-husband Daryl, Charisma and Rajan's dad, he was that dude. He was that one. He would sit back and watch me and build and grow and be like, oh, okay, good job,
Hmm.
good job. It was it was that. So I've experienced that. I've also experienced Tony on the other spectrum. Oh, you know everything now, huh? Oh, you smarter than everybody now, huh? Oh, the miss relationship, miss real life relationship growth. Oh yeah, I caught that one. I'm like,
Oh
really?
wow, really?
Oh my goodness. I'm like, so are you not realizing the benefits of this?
Hmm.
Are you not realizing? Because Donna was, ha ha. Are you not realizing the benefit of this? So,
Mm.
but it came up, like they said, there's some stuff that has to be dealt with individually.
I don't I don't know if you guys have seen this. This was out a while ago. There was a lady who talked about how she and her husband, they were fine. She was ambitious at her job. She climbed the ladder. She made all this money. And then she left her husband because he wasn't where she was or wasn't as ambitious as she was. And then she talked about how she looked back and he's moved on with somebody else. And she was like, I messed up a good thing. I really messed up. Do y'all remember that? Or had you
Yeah,
seen
because
that?
that man really loved her and she wasn't getting that love from nobody else. I saw
And
that.
yep, yep.
But
And I'm like, at
sometimes in
some
that
point,
growth, so sometimes Corey, in that growth,
mhm.
you got people talking to you,
Yep,
and you're like, no, no,
yes.
no, no, that you can't. Why you with him?
Hmm.
He's simple minded, man. He don't. What's he really gonna do for you? Now you this new person.
Hmm.
Okay? You the CEO of a company, and you married to a plumber,
Mm-hmm.
or you
Hmm.
married not anything against a plumber by
Right.
any means, but
Right.
you married to a blue collar worker,
Hmm.
and you can't even bring them to the table,
Or
to
you,
the events
mhm.
because
Or
you're
you at the Christmas
embarrassed.
party, and
Yeah.
you were like, "What do you do?" I'm a plumber. Oh.
Oh man.
But you know what? Everybody can't handle fame and money the same way, because sometimes no one can be in their ear. It can be a character, that can be their character, that's just who they are. They was
Yeah.
just waiting to get that opportunity to be an
Mm,
asshole.
to have an excuse.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes we look
Because
for an excuse.
some people settle for what they can at the moment.
At that moment. Yep.
Mm, mm.
Ooh, the myth of contentment. The myth of contentment. All right, y'all. We want to close this out as we usually do. Give everyone a chance to give their last thoughts on the topic and what you took from it, however you want to end that statement. The myth of yeah, all right, yeah, all right, Stacey.
I thought I
Chilling.
turned my camera off.
Woo!
And I'm hanging on over here. I'm hanging on.
It's
I'm
part,
hanging
it's
on.
part of that market. It's that marketing plan, man.
Yeah, it must be. Must be. All right, Stacey. Well, since you hanging on, let's get you right.
I I just blanked out. Like
Okay,
I really thought I turned my camera off.
we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you, Stacey.
Oh my God.
Let you process. All right, Miss Corey, the myth of contentment. What would you like to say closing this out?
Oh,
Stacey, your mic is on. Myth of contentment. I would say actually just work to be content. Make sure you are at peace where you are. Um, and don't drag somebody down because you are not there. Just, if you're not at peace and you can't get any rest, seek therapy and do your kegels.
Hmm.
Keep yourself occupied.
Keep yourself occupied. All right, Mr. Tony, your thoughts?
I would say that contentment is good. That's a good thing to be content. You shouldn't live your life and never feel what it's like to be content at some point. But growth is good. Growth is good. But like we've talked about, communicate with your significant other and tell them, hey, this is where I need to grow. This is what I want to do, and get their input.
Mhm.
And ultimately, people have to grow. Your relationship should grow every day,
Yeah,
and learn your person.
learn your person. Learn your person. All right, Miss Stacy, the myth of contentment.
I'm with Tony. I'm with you all. Contentment is a good thing. You both should grow into pure satisfaction with each other. You should be satisfied with each other, and it does come with communication. You should always make sure that you're always on the same page and not in a different chapter of the book. So it's done like with communication, and just do those daily check-in, not daily, weekly check-ins, to make sure you all are still on the same page. Ask questions. Is there something that you want to experience different? Is there something that I'm doing that you don't like? And be able to take criticism, because you're
Mm,
you're trying to grow together.
that's
You're in
right.
it for the long run.
Great points.
That's
Great
right.
points.
Good one.
Yeah. So I'm going to put this picture up. I've been holding it for a little while. I saw it. If you try, you can win or you could possibly lose, but you tried.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't try, you're going to lose.
Definitely.
You're going to lose. There's no
Send that to me.
I sure will. There's no one or two ways about it. If you try, you can win, which means I really feel this means the effort that you put into your relationship, the effort you put into your relationship, not giving up, trying to understand your person, not your other person, sorry, you're understanding your person, taking the time to understand and say, you know what, I don't like that, but let's talk about that. So I can understand where that comes from and why you move the way you do and why you react the way you react. Y'all know I always say, if I can't look at him as a little boy, I don't, I need to be able to see him as a little boy, which means I'm learning my person. I need
Mhm.
to know what your mama and daddy said, didn't say, did say, whatever, and what brought you to this place and this point. But if you do not try to understand your partner, you're going to lose. And if you do not, in the process of trying to understand them, understand that the way they think and the way they move is not necessarily how you think and how you move. And that is okay. Because y'all both trying to get a win.
Mm.
Y'all both trying to get a win.
Yes.
The myth of contentment, like Tony said, contentment is a good word.
Win, win.
It's a good
Mhm.
word. So be content together. Sometimes you're going to be content apart, but understand each other. And there it is. And there it is. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Our traveling studio tonight. Great, great, great. You all have a wonderful evening. And let's say a prayer for King's family member. We don't have to go into details. We just know that he had to get off and he did text me. So let's say a prayer for his family. Let's say a prayer for him and his family. Love you guys. We'll see you all next week. We don't even know what the topic is going to be, but it's going to be good.
Gonna be good.
See, guaranteed. Good night, everyone.